Hey everyone, this is Armored, and today I want to cover the war that has taken place in region 638 between the Alliance XV and the other alliance are the metro holders. They are called MKK. So, with this brief introduction of the themes that took place in the war, but eventually, of course, the people who were fighting were not eventually from this region as well. A lot of whales had ported in from different regions to help out their friends in region 638. Some had ported in to help out Alliance XV, and some had ported in to help MKK. And then some people were, of course, who were already in the region for a little while, and they were fighting to hold on to their respective positions. So yeah, this is the basic setting of the game and this war basically, and why this war took place. Let me get down to it immediately. So as per the alliances that are present there, so we will go through the version of XV first, and then of course we will go through the version of MKK first. Basically, the metro was shared between the three alliances, and on rotation basis, like XV, MKK, and the other alliance, I will show later on. The third alliance, they were holding the metro for a while, and then of course it rotated on to the next team during their turn or during their cycle, right? So this is how things were being dealt here. But most of the alliances, like XV and the third alliance, I forgot their name. We will cover it up later on. So, according to them, recently MKK has said that they will not be sharing the metro anymore, and the metro will solely be held by Alliance MKK. So, although the alliance name is MKK, but this name is We Are All One, which is quite strange. We Are All One would be we like WAAO, something like that, but it is different than actually what is the name of the alliance. So yeah, so the metro rotation was apparently from the alliance MKK. It was curbed that it will no longer take place. So now this brought back alliance XV and IES. So of course this news was not received well by both these teams because they felt betrayed, and then they went back to the point that actually MKK alliance has moved in from another region, and they had basically taken over the metro, and the indigenous alliances that are XV and IES, as per them, they were unable to have good hold over the region because they were grown up there. They had their bases basically starting up from this particular region, and that they had built it up, and suddenly MKK alliance came and they took over the region, and now suddenly they are imposing the fact that no more, what I want to say is that no more rotation will be held, right? So yeah, with this setting, I want to say is that I had friends fighting on both sides of the alliance, and I talked to them as well, and I asked them the reason, and basically the reasons are the same that I just narrated, like rotation of the metro, and then the metro rotation stopped. But yeah, the funny thing is that once these alliances came to a conclusion, like an agreement, that the rotation will be imposed later on. So later on, after this agreement was decided, so one of the players said that we do not agree with this final verdict that has been made, and I think that the metro should no longer be rotated, that he will quit the game if such an agreement has been imposed. So yeah, this was like a very strange agreement. Like, it could have been easily avoided, but this is not my region and not my place to say. But yeah, of course, these guys kept trying that something should be done, but of course, the warring parties, they are from other regions. They do not have the resources. They are also spending their troops over just a metro fight. And with the events like Island Raid, Genesis War, and Archipelago Raid coming up soon enough, after a downtime of 2 weeks. So this entails that this war will be very resource intensive for all the parties that are involved. So a lot of wild fights were taking place, and mostly these fights were quite balanced. Like one alliance would go on the offensive, and then the other alliance would go on the offensive. They kept fighting back and forth. So this rally from Goon Evil on Mr. Win It. So logically, an alliance of Julia and Louis against the Thunder and Riven should be dealing a lot of damage. But later on, when I will show you the report, the trades were quite equal. Not a lot of difference between them. And it seems that the armaments and the vehicle on the side of the defenders were much, much better. Because snipers should be owning a Thunder Peterson. But in this particular instance, the trades were in the favor of defenders, which was quite unique in my opinion, because both the whales are almost of the same size and they almost have the same kill points. So the war was being dominated by Alliance XV up till a certain point, and then later on, different whales ported in, and the fights eventually swung in the favor of Alliance MKK. This guy named Hugin Munin. So he was all over the battlefield and he tried a lot to actually defend or buy time for Alliance MKK. And whenever he would come out, a lot of players from the side of XV, even Smilo, would be like swarming him. And then we had Mr. Evil himself from Alliance Goon, I believe. So eventually this attack had to be cancelled. Let's go over towards the rally. So the rally, like I said earlier, the trades were quite even. Even the beast trade was quite even. But yeah, when we talk about specifically about the deaths, then yes, the deaths on the side of the offensive team were much, much more. The vehicles were quite equal as well. And even their armaments were not like really, really special. They were quite equal as well in terms of armaments as well. Like not a lot of difference. A lot of 4 and 5 star armaments. But yeah, here is the report where the major difference was. Like 851k deaths on the offensive side as compared to 478k on the defenders. And that was the bulk of report difference that made it equal, were the heavily wounded on the side of defenders. One more thing was that during the fighting, of course, the spam of Lewis, it was also hurting the squads that were fighting nearby, and a lot of damage was eventually done to those squads which were present in the near vicinity of this fight and eventually got hit by Mr. Lewis. So yeah, this is it for the report. Let's go on to where the fight difference was created. So yeah, this guy named NUFC, he ported in from a different region. I have seen him play for Alliance DHX and a couple of other teams, I believe from region 192 or maybe from region 193. I am quite forgetting, but I have seen him somewhere before. And this guy with over 1 billion kill points, he had actually ported in. That was one of the bigger whales. And then we had the Mr. Chever who had posted in from another region. He flew in as well. And you will see that a lot of fight difference was created by this guy actually. On the top half, he did run a rally of Felix and Chasey against a Thunder and low space defense. The trades were quite insane. Like he was getting dealt a damage of around 1k and like 1.1k, and he was dealing damage up to like 18k at certain points. So the difference in this trade was like huge, extremely huge. And the rally and its report later on that I will show you, that will prove that this rally should not have been either defended or it should have been defended by someone else. But yeah, this guy proved to be really, really strong. Meanwhile, he was railing top. These guys were trying to take out this tower that was being constructed by moving into alliance IES, and then of course either trying to swarm it down or rally it down. So yeah, like I said earlier, it was a matter of moments when this rally would decimate this tower, and eventually Mr. Shaver was able to destroy this tower of XP and break their resistance. Moving on, let's check out the report. The report was heavily in his favor, like 1 billion to around 21 million kill points differential, and then the 87k deaths as compared to 649k deaths, and then 1 million troops were directed to report to hospital and get their swollen jaws fixed, get their gums fixed, broken toes, broken face, broken teeth. Like this really was too insane. Now, meanwhile, that rally was ongoing. These guys were fighting bottom, trying to create some space by getting this tower deleted. I do not understand the purpose behind this, but yeah. First of all, they were on the offensive. They burned down this guy, Masturbate Son, very unique name. First time I see someone named Masturbate, but yeah, this is not a good thing. Later on, Mr. Shaber ported down, and the moment he ported down, he wreaked havoc. Like the moment he entered battlefield, everyone ran away. Probably he has multiple heroes in the range of 5 million or 6 million, or a couple of 5 million, 6 million heroes, and maybe on that regards. But whatever is the case, this guy is really strong. And then Mr. NUFC, he came out, he tried to fight him, and soon he discovered that this is a fight he cannot take, and he ran back to his home and he waved goodbye. And Mr. Sheber, he also ensured that I will say goodbye and I will take you to your home so you can rest there easy. So whatever the difference between 1 billion kill point might player and then someone with the 500 to 600 million kill points, the difference was huge. I was expecting a little better fight between the two, but it seems that the Mr. Shaber is much stronger as compared to NUFC. So yeah, this is between this is much of the fights that I have covered, and I believe this is it for today. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a good day and enjoy the rest of the fights.